We're still here at Lake Mead, just about 20 minutes from Las Vegas, boondocking in a dispersed campsite called Government Wash. And our friends Jason and Misty from Meandering Life are actually still sharing a site with us. They originally planned on coming out here for only 2 days for their very first boondocking experience, but they've loved it so much that they've stayed well over 2 days and are actually considering maxing out their stay here at the and staying for the full 15 allowed days. They've even gone as far as to start making some investments in solar because they just love it. They have got the boondocking bug, and I can't blame them because this is our favorite way to RV. We love boondocking, and to come here to this site for your first time, yeah, I can see why they're hooked, obviously. Yeah. But it's incredibly beautiful here. This site is right off of Lake Mead, and there's mountains surrounding the area. You've got beautiful rock formations. There's wildlife all over the place, birds flying all over. We've got coyotes howling at night, and we've even seen a number of coyotes. It's just beautiful. It's incredibly beautiful. One of the things they purchased was a small 110 watt solar panel that just sits on the ground and folds out, and I was pretty impressed with how much amperage that little thing put out. It was approaching 7 amps, and it got me thinking that maybe we should probably get a portable expansion panel like that, because we have like just enough solar to get by, but if we had like another 7 amps or so worth, then we'd really be able to just basically use electricity with reckless abandon and probably be able to run our fridge off of our solar a lot more often too, save on some propane. He said he only spent like 200 bucks on that thing, so it's like, dang, that'd be awesome.
Super worth it, and we may even be able to find one that's just a little bit bigger because it folds up. It's really cool. It's very cool.
Super thin, super light. So yeah, it's like it's one of those flexible solar panels, so it's not rigid. We could put it in the bed of our truck or even in the back of the truck, or heck, we could maybe even find somewhere to store it in the RV when we're not using it or when we leave the RV, so it's safe. But yeah, that really got me thinking, and I think we're going to be pulling the trigger on something like that pretty soon.
Yeah, definitely. We're getting ready to head out. We are going on our last adventure here at Lake Mead, and believe it or not, we're gonna go check out the Hoover Dam. Now, I have been to the Hoover Dam before, but I was little, and I went with my grandparents. This is many, many years ago. I do remember it a little bit. I remember it being very cool. It is pretty windy today, which means at the Hoover Dam, it's going to be exponentially more windy. So we're gonna be super careful and try not to lose, sunglasses or regular glasses or anything like that. And we're even gonna ride our bikes there. They have a really cool old railroad that has tunnels. It's a easy trail, 7.2 mile round trip, and dogs are allowed on it. However, Sweetie is not allowed in the visitor center at the Hoover Dam, so she's not gonna be coming with us this time.
We're also excited because today we get to test out some new pieces of camera equipment. We bought these Joby bike mounts that we can mount the action cams right to the handlebars of our bicycles. So hopefully that makes getting film while riding our bikes a little safer, since we won't have to both be holding on to a selfie stick or something with one of our action cams on it. We can just mount it right to the handlebars. So we'll see how that works.
I am really excited to try these cameras out. We've never tried them on our bikes before, but they have great image stabilization, so I'm hoping we get some good video for you guys. We've reached a point in the trail that we're not allowed to take our bikes on, and it's because we're almost to the Hoover Dam and there are no bikes allowed on it, which is totally fine. They have a place that we can hook our bikes up, so it's great. The trail that we came in on was super easy.
And it was awesome.
And it was awesome. It was absolutely beautiful.
And going through those tunnels were,
Yeah.
I don't know, those tunnels were just awesome.
Yeah.
And they had signs that said, you know, how hard it was for the laborers to make those tunnels, blast through them. The working conditions were awful. But it was during Depression era, so people, you know, just needed...
They needed it.
They were just looking for their next meal, basically.
The trail going back, though, is going to be slightly uphill, especially through the Bureau of Reclamation, which, by the way, was a drastic difference when you left the National Recreation Area into the Bureau of Reclamation. The Bureau of Reclamation is very industrial,
Yeah.
and it seems incredibly private. I mean, it is
High security.
High security. It's private land. There are signs everywhere saying that the trail through the Bureau of Reclamation is closed after daylight hours. So we can only use this trail to go back when it's still daylight.
Yeah. And you can't go off the trail. There are signs all over that say stay on the trail, restricted area, only stay on the trail, don't leave it. And you almost feel like you're being watched.
Yeah, there are fences everywhere.
Yeah, but you know, they want to protect the Hoover Dam. They don't want anything bad happening.
Yeah, I completely agree.
Yeah.
Plus this all these electrical lines everywhere, they're so loud.
Yeah, they're buzzing. It's crazy the sound coming off of these electrical towers. Just, you know, we're so close to where the power's being generated.
Yeah.
I can only imagine how much electricity is flowing through those. We finally made it to the Hoover Dam, and we're gonna walk across the side that is on the Lake Mead side first, because we're thinking the Colorado River side is gonna be just like incredibly awesome. So we're gonna work ourselves up to that on the Lake Mead side and then walk back across the other side of the dam.
Here is a demonstration about how windy it is right here versus right here. Ready?
Ready?
It's picking up too.
Pull your head back. All right, put it over. Now we're obviously on the Colorado side of the Hoover Dam, and we were right. This side is awesome. It's just way more epic of a view. The Lake Mead side is pretty tranquil and beautiful, but this side is just awesome. The water is so much lower, but the wind is also a lot higher, practically getting blown away, and I'm sure you can hear it in the microphone too. As is always the case, we got a late start to today, and we didn't really get here until a lot later than we wanted to, and by the time we actually got to the visitor center, it was 4:20, and they stopped admitting people in at 4:15. So I'm sure there's a lot of really cool exhibits and a lot of great history that is to be seen and learned inside the visitor center, so we're kind of upset. So we're just gonna stuff our faces instead at the cafe right outside the Hoover Dam. You know, get some comfort food, make ourselves feel a little bit better. Well, we're back at the RV for the night and back with our girl, Sweetie. She obviously missed us while we were gone. We would have loved to take her because the trail that we went on, was it the Historic Railroad Trail? Is that what it's called?
Yep, Historic Railroad Trail.
That does allow dogs to a certain point until right when you get to the dam, and then there are no dogs on the Hoover Dam. So we would have loved to take her, but then we wouldn't have been able to check out the Hoover Dam. But we're back home, and boy is she happy we're here. So I told myself I was gonna refrain from making any dam jokes this entire video, but while we were at the Hoover Dam, I heard a really good one, and I just have to. The guy said, "Top of the dam to you," because we were on top of the dam. I thought that was a good one.
He was talking about it for about 5 minutes after he heard that joke. He thought it was really good.
Oh, I thought it was clever. But yeah, I said to myself, David, no damn jokes, and that's the only one. That's all I'm saying. I promise. It is. It is. Yeah.
Typically, that's followed by a joke that he said that he wasn't going to say. The bike ride to the Hoover Dam was incredibly easy. Very, very nice, very pleasant. The wind wasn't bad. The bike ride back was also very easy, except that the wind picked up big time.
Yeah. And the wind was at our fronts this time on the way back to the truck instead of at our backs like it was on the way to the dam. And even though in some places we were biking downhill, it was like we were biking uphill with that wind. It was crazy. At one point, the wind was so strong we had to actually get off our bikes and walk our bikes just because of the wind.
She's not.
I know. She's like, Sweetie, stop.
She's like, are you guys done yet?
And that wind we're also really experiencing at our site now too. When we got back, the wind was just incredible. It was insane. We stepped out of the truck and it was like, holy smokes, and we opened the door to the RV and it almost just ripped it out of our hands as soon as it caught the wind. And the sand was kicking up into our faces and getting in our eyes and our mouths. Jenny was crunching on some sand for a little bit. And that's one of the downsides that we have found about Government Wash Campground here at Lake Mead, is that about half the time we've been here, the wind has been insane. And then the other half, it's been really pleasant.
Yeah.
So we're not sure if we're just kind of getting weather systems that are really windy or if that's a regular thing here. Kind of would make sense if it was regular because it's right off the water, but I'm not sure. Our time here at Lake Mead though has been really awesome. We've had a couple great adventures. We've had this amazing boondocking site that we've been able to stay on. And we're excited for where our adventures are gonna take us next.
Oh my gosh. Yeah, but if you like this video, be sure to give it a big thumbs up.
And if you want more from us, be sure to subscribe. And if you want more details on what we did today, be sure to check out the link to the blog post in the description below. I'll catch you guys later.
Bye.
Your attention hog. No, I've gotten enough kisses.
I got the paw on the arm.
I've gotten enough. Did you hear that growl? They're getting aggressive. I know. I love you. I love you too.
She says, "Pay attention to me." Your face is so wet.
Oh, sweetie girl.